Hey guys, got the wood running here, and I have a, how y'all doing? Good. Alright, I got a pack review that I promised. This is a pack that I've had for a couple of years now, and I've used it on a couple of backpacking trips, and I've used it every time on my 20 peak challenge. I've used this pack as a day pack. We'll go over all the specs later, but people were just curious what I use, and this is a Hyperlite mountain gear pack. This is not my favorite pack, okay, but it's light and it's pretty water resistant, and it's great for using it as a day pack, and for a long distance backpacking trip. It's pretty good. I have a couple issues with it. I'll go over it later. But sits on the back. This is a medium, a size medium, and it has a padded hip belt, an internal frame, and it kind of rides. That's how it looks. Anybody who's seen my video seen me carrying this pack. Like I said, I don't consider this my bushcrafting pack exactly, but there it is. It has it'll hold an incredible amount of stuff. You could easily carry enough stuff in here for a week or two, and it's got 4,400 cubic inches capacity. It's a roll down, roll top pack. I have a few problems with it. I'll kind of go over that in a few minutes. If people are curious what I carried on my day hikes, and on a lot of those hikes, I was pretty deep in the backcountry, so I had to bring some extra stuff with me in case I got stuck, stranded somewhere. So I always had a rain jacket with me, right here. It's a real lightweight rain jacket. It also works great as a windbreaker when the wind's howling up on those peaks. I always carried candy bar, candy bar or two. And let's see, this is my Sawyer Mini water filter, and this is great. I only carry one water bottle with me, and by the time I'd get off a mountain, usually I was dry and out of water, so I would have to stop and use this at a spring or at a creek anyway. I'd stop at a creek and use that Mini Sawyer. They're really good. Just don't let them freeze, because once they freeze, they're useless. They're just useless once they freeze. I always kept a little MSR to boil up a cup of soup or coffee with, and I always carry just a small canister of fuel. I don't think I have one in there, but I always carry just a small canister of that ISOPRO fuel. I always kept dog snacks. Still have some in here for the dude. When the dude would go on me on a peak, I always brought snacks for the dude. Some toilet paper, of course. I don't have a lot in here, but we'll go through it. I'm sure I got more than that. Always some lip balm, chapstick, and a lighter. I always carry a lighter, a Bic lighter. Let's see. Other important gear I always kept my these side pockets they have in this pack. This pack is a couple of years old. The newer packs have larger pockets here. They've increased the size of these pockets. because they're pretty small and you can't put a lot in them. But I always had my spot with me, and I had to use it a few times on during the summer to let my wife know I was okay. There's another lighter in this pocket here. I usually keep a lighter on my person, you know, in my jacket or something. Okay. Inside the pack. See how that sucker rolls up? I mean, look at that thing, right? It's huge. Big strong piece of Velcro at the top. Look at that sucker, guys. Look at that thing. You can put a lot of gear in this thing, I'm telling you. Okay. Always kept this is a snug pack bivvy. I always kept a bivvy with me. And this is in case I got stuck out at night, you know, on some mountainside somewhere. This is real inexpensive. My wife bought it for me. It's a down quilt. I don't see any brand name on it. I think she got it at Walmart. But it's a real light, but it's down quilt. And I don't know, it's supposed to be good down to like 40 degrees or something. But it doesn't weigh much. Weighs right around a pound. So just keep that in there. You know, I could use that inside my bivvy, inside my snug pack bivvy if I needed to. So that's kind of emergency gear there. I always kept a cup. This is an aluminum cup from a Swiss military canteen. And I always just carried the cup to boil up some coffee or something on my little stove there. And this is a tarp. It's very light, weighs about 9 ounces. It's a pretty large tarp, and I use this on my backpacking trip across the Great Divide Basin in Wyoming. So I use this for a week. This is all I had for over the top of me for a week, crossing the Great Divide Basin. But I always keep this in here in case I need to throw up a quick shelter. I always keep these things. These are those new ones. They're N-U-U-N, and they're these tablets for electrolytes. So to put salts and stuff back into your system. I always mix this with my water and would drink this, especially after a hot day climbing a mountain. This is really good to have. It's got noons, and there's different types of these electrolytes. There's a little package you can get with the powder you can dump into your water. But these work real good, and so I always keep some of those. I'll get back to you in a bit. Sorry about that UPS. Yes, at the door. So, and I always kept a platypus in here for extra water if I needed to get some extra water. I could put it in that. So most of this stuff, and there's another platypus right there. I mean, these things weigh nothing, guys. They don't weigh much at all. I'm not going to say they don't weigh nothing. They weigh a couple ounces, but that's all. And I mean, everything weighs something, right? And you know what? I think that's it. I don't have cordage, and I don't have, other than what's in my tarp. I do have some cordage from inside my tarp. But other than that, I don't carry a a lot of kits and stuff. You know, I've got some cover, you know, emergency, some shelter items. I have a container for boiling water. I don't have it here, but I always bring some food. I always bring a packet of soup. You know, so a big packet of Lipton soup or something, and maybe a couple of packets of oatmeal thrown in there. And I always have that food in there with me too. In case I get stuck, I'll at least have something to eat. I'll have some coffee to drink. That's another thing that I took out of here. But those are some other items that I might take with me. Just some foodstuffs, coffee, and really that's it. We'll get into this pack here shortly. I'll go over the specifications of this pack here in a bit, and then we'll take a closer look at the pack itself. And these aren't cheap, man. I'm telling you, these suckers are expensive. I think this pack, you might want to turn the video off now. This pack runs $380 retail. I didn't pay that, but I got a deal on it. But I am not, Hyperlite Mountain Gear is not paying me or giving me a free pack to do this review. So I did pay cash money for this. I just didn't pay $380 for it. This is actually my third Hyperlite Mountain Gear pack. I have one that's a 3400 Wind Rider, which is just the same as this, but it has different pockets. And then I had a 2400 cubic inch Wind Rider with the mesh pockets instead of these solid pockets. It had mesh pockets, and a little lighter construction. On these big 4400 packs, they're a little bit bigger, they're a little wider. They have a heavier denier construction. It's heavier than either their 2400 or the 3400 cubic inch. It has, because this is their Southwest model, it has, they call these hard line Dyneema, all these white lines in this mesh. You can see it here. All that it looks like mesh, a ripstop material. That's all Dyneema thread, all that white stuff, through polyester. So it's a polyester material, but it has this hardline Dyneema running through it. The pack itself is constructed by layers of Dyneema material and sandwiched with I believe polyester material. So anyway, all the seams inside, everywhere where it's stitched, no matter where it's stitched. Here you can see here it has reinforced bar tack stitching here in the shoulder straps. All the high stress points have that. Down here on the waist belt, it's all bar tacked other than regular stitching. On triple stitch this one is. And it has a port on the side for a hydration tube, just on one side of the pack, I believe. Yeah. And so on the right side of the pack, it has a Velcro sleeve for hydration tube. Then we have a hydration sleeve inside the pack. The stuff is rock solid, so you can't hurt the stuff very easily. It's loud, so it's not a hunting pack. I certainly wouldn't use this on a hunting trip. But you can see that Dyneema material all through. It's that kind of brighter, more shiny looking material on there. Except here, this is all taped. These are all the seams in here, all stitching everywhere. All attachment points here, they're all taped from the inside. So they got them taped. The pack is actually a double layer construction from the rest of the pack to give it more durability. You can see another problem with this stuff is whatever you set this in, it's going to turn that color, you know. There's some drain ports here for the pockets that runs all the way through and out of the pockets so that water can drain if it gets into the pockets. It has this, you know, this ice axe loop in it here, on it here. All kinds of compression straps on it, so you can suck that pack into that load into your back. Here, the shoulder straps are padded. Once again, we have that hardline Dyneema just like in the pockets. The zippers are YKK. Fastex style buckles. Like I said, these pockets are pretty small. You can maybe put a snack. Possibly, if you got a smaller cell phone, you could put it in there. The big cell phones won't fit. But they have increased the size of these, so people were complaining about that. Yeah, these grommets here just go into where the pockets, behind the pockets here. And so, like I said, so water can drain out should water get into your pockets here when it's raining, and it will. The pack is almost waterproof, but it's not quite waterproof. And it uses a large Velcro and heavy Velcro. It doesn't seem to wear out. 4,400 cubic inches capacity. Hydration sleeve inside. See if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a hydration sleeve inside. And there's some pockets that are removable aluminum staves that go into these pockets. There's 2 aluminum staves and they are removable. This is padded with a 3/8 foam, or 1/4 inch foam, I'm sorry. And there's also a plastic sheet in here that gives it a little extra stability. So, okay. That's a closer look at the pack. I don't know if that light is really working here. That's their current logo. We had a couple logos now. But, okay, so that's it for now. We'll go into the specs here now. Here in a minute. Alright, guys. Get back in a minute. Alright. We're going to go over some of the specs. I pulled these off of Hyperlite Mountain Gear's website. And let's see. Okay, so the pack weight is 2.45 pounds, or 100 or 1114 or whatever, 1114 grams. The load capacity, up to 60 pounds. It'll carry up to 60 pounds. Is the maximum they recommend you carry in this. The materials for the body itself of the pack here is a 150 denier Dyneema composite material. So it's a Dyneema and polyester material. Okay, the bottom is a double layer of 150 Dyneema on the bottom of the pack. The external pockets, as I mentioned before, are the hardline Dyneema and polyester. Okay. The volume of the pack, it will hold 4,400 cubic inches or 70 liters. External cubic inches, the pockets, external are 600 cubic inches or 9.8 liters. Okay, so that would break it down. The center pocket of this pack has 300 cubic inches, and the smaller pockets have 150 cubic inches. Okay, so that broke those down. The dimensions are, top circumference is 45 inches or 114.3 centimeters. Bottom circumference is 37.5 inches. This is the inside space around, or 95.3 centimeters. There we go. Okay. The height, fully unrolled, is 38.5 inches or 97.8 centimeters. The back width is 10.5 inches or 26.7 centimeters. Okay. It's made here in the U.S. in the state of Maine. It's a small company. They're kind of growing all the time. But let's see, 3 external pockets made from solid Dyneema hardline pockets, removable contoured aluminum stays, as I mentioned before. There's 2 stays and some sleeves here, and they are removable. Then the shoulders are hardline shoulder straps, Dyneema hardline shoulder straps, with 3/8 closed cell foam and spacer mesh and padding. Internal plastic frame sheet for added back panel support, a 1/4 inch foam back panel pad, the compression system, these compression straps on the side, side compression straps for horizontal compression. Has a top Y strap, as I mentioned before, designed to secure gear on top. Dyneema hardline dual density hip belt down here. Okay, with 1/8 closed cell foam, rigid foam, and a 1/4 inch closed cell foam and spacer mesh. Don't ask me what all that means. Dyneema hardline zippered pockets, that's these here. Where are we? The pockets on the hip belt with number 5 YKK zippers. Adjustable sternum strap here. Okay. With self-tensioning elastic. It has an ice axe loop here, as I mentioned before. Has the hydro port in the side, as I mentioned before. Right there, it's only on one side of the pack. Right there. 4 external tri-glide buckles for optional. That's here. And they actually don't give you the straps that can go here, but this is for the compression if you wanted to order the straps or add your own straps to these 4 tri-glide connections here. Proprietary seam sealing on all side seams and behind all sewn on pack features. So the dang thing is nearly waterproof. And that's it, guys. What do I think about it? I think it's okay. It's a good pack. The thing that bothers me about it is, and I don't know why this is But these, this kind of gets to me right here. It's like it's not padded enough for me. And over a period of a few days, these will start rubbing on my skin. And it'll work with the seam of my pants to rub against my skin and cause me hot spots. Other than that, it rides great. Like I said, I've never had any water get inside. I've been out in all kinds of weather with this pack. I've used it on backpacking trips, which is really what it's for. It's for lengthy backpacking trips where you're trying to cut down your weight. And like I said, it's light enough. It also works good for a day pack. So that's why I used it all last summer on my day trips. Well, that's it, guys. That's the long-awaited Hyperlite Mountain Gear backpack review. It's a good pack. Is it worth the money they're asking for it? They're asking $380 for that pack. I didn't pay that much for it. I got a deal on that pack. I don't work for these guys. They didn't give me anything. I'm just giving you my straight up review. The things I'd like to see is a little more comfort and a little more padding here in the hip belt. At least do away with this hard piece here that it's kind of stiff and it digs into my skin over a period of distance. Been out for a few days. It really starts to rub on me. There's no lifter straps, low lifter straps here, but you really don't need it. It's plenty rigid, so it'll carry the weight. It'll help support the weight, and it will put it down on your hips. I mean, it transfers that weight to your hips really well, which is another reason I'd like that to be a little nicer, a little more comfortable. Well, that's it, guys. That's all I got. Well, guys, that's it. That's my review of the Hyperlite Mountain Gear 4,400 cubic inch capacity feed bag. No, I'm just kidding. Southwestern pack, or Southwest pack. This is their Southwest pack. Alright guys, that's it. You take her easy, partaker. Stay out of the hot sun. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.